Ho, 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 ho. Merry Christmas! Welcome to Stories with Santa. Today we are celebrating this wonderful time of year with stories filled with magic and cheer. I'm so happy to be here in Springfield, a place very dear to my heart. Without further ado, let's begin. 'Twas the Night Before Christmas, A Visit from St. Nicholas by Clement Clark Moore. 'Twas the night before Christmas, when all through the house not a creature was stirring, not even a mouse. The stockings were hung by the chimney with care, in the hopes that St. Nicholas soon would be there. The children were nestled all snug in their beds, while visions of sugar plums danced in their heads. And Mama in her kerchief, and I in my cap, had just settled our brains for a long winter's nap. When out on the lawn there arose such a clatter, I sprang from my bed to see what was the matter. Away to the window I flew like a flash, tore open the shutters and threw up the sash. The moon on the breast of the new-fallen snow gave a luster of midday to objects below. When what to my wondering eyes did appear but a miniature sleigh and 8 tiny reindeer. With a little old driver so lively and quick, I knew in a moment he must be Saint Nick. More rapid than eagles his coursers they came, and he whistled and he shouted and he called them by name. Now Dasher, now Dancer, now Prancer and Vixen, on Comet, on Cupid, on Donner and Blitzen. To the top of the porch, to the top of the wall, now dash away, dash away, dash away all. As leaves that before the wild hurricane fly, when they meet with an obstacle mount to the sky. So up to the housetop the coursers they flew, with the sleigh full of toys, and St. Nicholas too. And then in a twinkling I heard on the roof the prancing and pawing of each little hoof. As I drew in my head and was turning around, down the chimney St. Nicholas came with a bound. He was dressed all in fur from his head to his foot, and his clothes were all tarnished with ashes and soot. A bundle of toys he had flung on his back, and he looked like a peddler just opening his pack. His eyes, how they twinkled, his dimples, how merry. His cheeks were like roses, his nose like a cherry. His droll little mouth was drawn up like a bow, and the beard on his chin was as white as the snow. The stump of a pipe he held tight in his teeth, and the smoke, it encircled his head like a wreath. He had a broad face and a round little belly that shook when he laughed like a bowl full of jelly. He was chubby and plump, a right jolly old elf, and I laughed when I saw him in spite of myself. A wink of his eye and a twist of his head soon gave me to know I had nothing to dread. He spoke not a word, but went straight to his work, and filled all of the stockings, then turned with a jerk, and laying his finger aside of his nose, and giving a nod, up the chimney he rose. He sprang to his sleigh, to his team gave a whistle, and away they all flew like the down of a thistle. But I heard him exclaim, ere he drove out of sight, Happy Christmas to all, and to all a good night. The Life and Adventures of Santa Claus by L. Frank Baum. Have you ever wondered how I got my name Santa? Well, Claus thought that none of the children would ever know where the toys came from. The toys they found by their bedsides when they wakened the following morning. But kindly deeds are sure to bring fame, and fame has many wings to carry its tidings into far lands. So for miles and miles in every direction, people were talking of Claus and his wonderful gifts to children. The sweet generousness of his work called a few selfish folk to sneer. But even those were forced to admit their respect for a man so gentle-natured that he loved to devote his life to pleasing the helpless little ones, the children that he loved so much. Therefore the inhabitants of every city and village had been eagerly watching the coming of Claus, and remarkable stories of his beautiful playthings were told to children to keep them patient and content. When, on the morning following the first trip of Claus with his deer, the little ones came running to their parents with the pretty toys they had found, and asked from whence they'd came. There was but one reply to the question. The good Claus must have been there, my darlings, for his are the only toys in all of the world. But how did he get in? Asked the children. At this, the fathers shook their heads, being themselves unable to understand how Claus had gained admittance to their homes. But mothers, watching the glad faces of their dear ones, whispered that the good Claus was no mortal man, but assuredly a saint, and that they had piously blessed his name for the happiness that he had bestowed upon their children. A saint, said one, with a bowed head, has no need to unlock doors. And afterwards, when a child was naughty or disobedient, its mother would say, remember, Santa Claus does not like naughty children. But Santa Claus himself would not have approved of this speech. He brought toys to the children because they were little and because he loved them. He knew that the best of children were sometimes naughty, and the naughty ones were often good. It is the way with children the world over, and he would not have changed their natures had he possessed the power to do so. And that is how our Claus became Santa Claus. It is possible for any man or woman, by good deeds, to enshrine themselves as a saint in the hearts of the people. The Christmas Tree by William Johnston. Oh, the Christmas tree, green are the boughs of the Christmas tree, and wherever I am, on the land or the sea, there always appears at the season to me the vision bright of a Christmas tree. I have been in lands where ice and snow were all around, above and below, but even then I caught the glow shimmering over a wintry sea from a distant land and the Christmas tree. In lands that are scorched by a tropical sun, where summer and winter are both as one, I've stood on the shore when the day was done, and caught the echoes of innocent glee from a faraway land and a Christmas tree. Wherever I am, in the east or the west, though distant from home and the ones I love best, I feel that I am by its memories blessed, and over the miles intervening I see the glimmering light of the Christmas tree. Let the voices of sorrow and mourning cease, and the mourner break forth in a carol of peace, and over each care like a golden fleece fall the halo of love with its benison free on the hearts that are cheered by the Christmas tree. Away with all doubts, all cares, all fears. It is not the season for sighs and tears, for down through the 1800 years comes a voice that is saying to you and to me, rejoice, for I gave you the Christmas tree. Brightly the stars may be shining tonight, the moon flood the world with its silvery light. On the clouds hide the moon and the stars from our sight, but we care not how heavy the darkness may be, there's no cloud over the light of the Christmas tree. There are gifts here for all, for the young and the old. Here are trinkets and toys of more value than gold. May the warm hearts that proffer them never grow cold, but look back from the heights of the future to be at the bright shining lights of the Christmas tree. Oh, the Christmas tree, 'tis a beautiful sight for the eye to see, the cheerful wave of its branches green, and friendship's gifts that are placed between. Oh, a beautiful sight is the Christmas tree.